Hey Virgo, welcome to your Lionsgate reading. We're going to jump right on in and check and see what theme or overall energy is in store for you during this time period. And what we have for you is discovery. So, this Lionsgate for my Virgos out there is clearly going to be a time of enlightenment, a time of awakening, finding new things, having new experiences. It might be in regards to other people. I do think that for the vast majority of you, this is going to be a time of discovery about yourself, who you are, what it is that you want, the path that you want to be on, things that make your heart sing with joy. This is, it feels like a very, very happy and light energy. It's almost as if you are stepping into your own, that you are coming into your true self. And so I kind of love that for you all. But let's get into some cards and see what other messages we have for you. So, what it is that you need to leave behind, we have the Ace of Cups. Now, on the surface, I think that that might seem like a pretty bad message. It's like, well, why would I want to leave behind, a fresh start in love or new emotions or anything like that? I think that the Ace of Cups, because if you'll notice, the cup is so big that I think that some of my Virgos can tend to get a little bit over emotional when it comes to new experiences. And if you look back historically, I suspect that a lot of you will discover that that was probably not the best approach for you to take. It's almost like you come in guns blazing and you give your everything to someone and you end up just not particularly in a good space. And so I think in the context of this reading with the Ace of Cups and leaving something behind, it's not leaving behind the notion of having an emotional connection with someone. It's tempering yourself in the beginning, not coming in hot, guns blazing and just ready to risk it all. It's like, slow down now, slow down, slow down. We have that clarified by the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And so I do think that for some of my Virgos, there may be a little bit of an all or nothing type of proposition where it's like either I'm going to be right here coming in hot or I'm going to be by myself. And so I think that having those two extremes hasn't necessarily served you well in the past. So coming into Lionsgate and going through it, it may be good to figure out why those two extremes are there and figuring out how to find a happy medium between the two. Now, in terms of what you should take with you, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse clarified by the Page of Cups in reverse. Now, I think with the Five of Pentacles, there is maybe a little bit of fear of being left out, being out in the cold, not having anyone if you don't go in, sort of hot. I don't think that that's the case for you, Virgo. So making sure that you take with you the notion that you're not going to be left out if you don't, come in like cuckoo cuckoo when it comes to your feelings or emotions or your desire to build a bond or a relationship with someone else. That's not the case at all. So don't think that if you have a tempered or moderate approach to other people, that you're somehow going to be left lacking. And with the Page of Cups in reverse clarifying, it also feels like, again, with the Page of Cups, it doesn't mean that you completely withhold your emotions. Again, this is a more tempered energy. Pages are newbies, right? They're young energy, they're naive energy. And so this is just simply a reminder that says, if you take things slow, it's okay. It's all right. You get the chance to learn yourself in the context of this other person. The other person gets an opportunity to know you. There's no need to rush. There's no need to go to any extremes. So what you'll find as you sort of go through this process, we have the Seven of Cups And we also have the King of Pentacles in reverse. Now, with the Seven of Cups, there's going to be a lot for you to explore, right? This is the discovery card. I do think that Virgos, when you take this more moderate approach to meeting and interacting other people, you're going to open yourself up to a much broader audience, right? You're going to have a bigger population of people to interact with because you're not coming off as being crazy and you're not coming off as being super standoffish, right? You're just being a normal person going with life's flow. And I think that that's going to be intriguing to people. Now, with the King of Pentacles in reverse, I do think also that there is going to be, I think, a little bit of a challenge in terms of staying grounded because this may be a little bit of a new approach for you. And, when it comes to your sort of emotional state, I do think that there may be a little bit of an inclination to sort of highlight your tangibles instead, if that makes any sense. Just understand that you're not going to have to go out of your way to impress anyone. You're not going to have to showcase what it is that you have in terms of finances or assets or anything like that. Just being yourself is more than enough. And you'll be able to weed out the people who, you don't particularly want to be around, and vice versa. You all can decide whether or not you are each other's cup of tea. But open yourself up to the possibilities and just do your best to sort of stay grounded. Now, the energy that you're going to activate during this time period, we have the Two of Wands in reverse, clarified by the Three of Swords. So Virgos, I know that sometimes because I do have Virgo in my chart, can tend to be a little bit emotional, right? And when we're disappointed, it's not rare that we sort of end up staying stuck where we are. So with the Two of Wands, this is when it's upright. It's really about someone trying to make the decision whether or not they stay where they are or if they get out there and sort of explore the world. And with the Three of Swords, this is disappointment, right? This, in some cases, especially when it comes to romantic partners or deep friendships, this can be about heartbreak. And so I think that in some instances, when it comes to you opening yourself up to people and trying things a different way, there are going to be people who are not necessarily a good fit for you. And with that, I think is going to come disappointment, because I think that my Virgos out there really do genuinely want that connection with other people, whether it's in terms of friendships or romantic relationships. And so I think that there will be some instances as you start discovering more about yourself and how you interact with other people, that there are going to be situations where you just don't mesh with another person in spite of you wanting to or being excited about doing so. But, with that disappointment will come a little bit of a standstill, I think, for you. It's almost swinging back into this, well, I'm just not going to deal with anybody. And so let's be a little bit cautious about falling into that trap. But what's going to become clear to you over time is that we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. You're going to know throughout this process, throughout this growing and learning, throughout these little disappointments, you're going to start understanding much more easily and much more quickly where and with whom and how much you should invest your time and energy. You're going to get to a place, Virgo, where you are no longer going to be planting seeds with people who don't interest you or show you that you don't interest them. And it's not going to be a situation where you are either all in or all out from everybody forever until the next time. This is going to be you being a lot more thoughtful, a lot more discerning about where it is that you place your effort. And we have that clarified by the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the deck, but the most grounded, and the one who sees the most consistent long-term success. So, don't think that by moving slow that you're going to be missing out on anything. Don't think that with these little disappointments for people that you don't click with, that that's just the end of it and you're never going to click with anybody else. That's absolutely 100% not the case. So if you had any concerns about that, Virgo, don't worry. Now, how this is going to change you, we have Death, which great card because it's a transformation card. It's the ending of something and the beginning of something new. So I do think that through this process of discovery, this is you ending the way that you used to operate, sort of from pillar to post, and coming into a much more balanced, much more grounded, much more thoughtful and stable energy. And we have the 10 of Wands to clarify. Now, the 10 of Wands can really be about, carrying burdens with you. But the good thing, Virgo, is that 10s are also completion cards. And so I do think that through this transformation, this stress that you were carrying with you previously, trying to make sure that people like you and putting your best foot forward and all of that, that's a lot. That's a lot of expectation for one person to try and live up to. So laying down that burden is going to be a big change for you. You're finally going to be able to let that go. Now, how this is going to benefit you, we have the 5 of Wands. Now, the 5 of Wands can be a little bit of a card of conflict. I think that it's going to sort of force you to think about what it is that you're fighting for and what it is that you are, sort of, is it worth it to you? Is it worth all of this energy? Is it worth all of this effort? And so I do think that for my Virgos, you are going to get to a place where you really start marching to the beat of your own drum. You're not going to sort of go out of your way and try to impress people. You're going to relax into yourself, and that's going to be enough. We also have that clarified with the 3 of Wands. So taking your time, letting people sort of come to you organically instead of going out and trying to hunt them down a little bit, even though you have the best of intentions. And I think that you genuinely just want those connections. But this is going to benefit you by allowing you to relax. And that relaxed energy, that sort of grounded aura is going to draw people into you. Is it always going to draw the right people into you? Not necessarily, but because you have become more balanced in your approach, you're going to be more discerning about whether or not you entertain those people. So we're not going to take all of the cards that fell out. It was like 5 of them, but we will take the one that flipped over. Message from Sirius: do something different. And so Virgos, this entire approach, this entire mindset is something that's different for you. It's something that you may have thought about doing before, but kind of backslid into this old sort of extremism mind space. But approaching relationships differently is going to serve you well. And the first few tries might be more practice than anything else, but you're going to come out of it changed. You're going to discover a lot about yourself, about how you engage with other people, and what it is that you want from yourself and others as you go forward. So hang in there, Virgo. Things are going to be just fine. That's what I got for you guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.